Thank you so much. You're watching the program. On to the last segment, as I earlier promised here. And we'll be talking about conflict management in marriage, which is an important institution that feeds the society. But before I say good morning to my Ebo panel, my producer, that is Beverly Vugutsa or Festus. Well, I think depending on, I'm sure that might not offend my producer, but she prepared this important feature, and this is what she had to come up with.
It is a situation that has become a thorn in the flesh, a situation that has got no answers to some, but to some, answers were God. This is none other than the institution of marriage, different people with different stories. And from this discussion, we hope for the best.
And, we met in 2011, then we moved in together in 2013. So basically I can say I've been married for 6 years. Yeah, but then we are blessed with a beautiful daughter. Well, in marriage, obviously there are advantages and disadvantages. So many people get into marriage thinking that it's all going to be flowers, roses, like happy every day, but then it's not like that. There's so much that happens because like when two people start dating, most people or some don't really show their characters, their real characters. Then later on in marriage, when you're deep into it and you have kids, that is when you start, like characters start coming out, showing, which I don't think is good because such kind of things make people fight. And then, for example, if somebody has kids outside, you have to tell your partner before you get married. You have to say it during that courtship period. You have to say it, confess it. Because later on, when you're together, you're married, you have other kids, that is when you start telling your partner, oh, I have 2 more kids outside. That is very stressful.
It is in different forms at the moment, the calm-wisting marriage and the legal marriage. Given a second chance, 3 in every 10 people would not marry their current spouse again. This being a nationwide survey on the status of the institution of marriage in Kenya. A survey done by InfoTrack revealed that only 40% of Kenyans are happily married. The rest are rather unhappy or not sure how to describe their unions. But where is the source of the problem, or where have we failed as a society?
People fight over such kind of things. So sharing a space is one of the, I can call it a disadvantage, because as for me, when I moved in with my husband, I was so used to like being alone. And now this is one of the things that up to today, like I'm not so okay with, because you get to start all the time, you're with somebody, every day you're with somebody, and people now get, at times, there are people who get bored of each other. So you really have to fall in love with the same person every day, every single day. Yeah, but then space is an issue. If you're used to being alone, then now you start sharing a space with one person every day. It becomes an issue. Yeah. Yeah, well, people say that a lot, that do not go through your husband's phone, emails. But as for me, I do. I go through his messages. I go through his emails, Facebook, chats, everything. Yeah, so I can just, it's good to watch your back. You know what's going on. Yeah. But then it's not advisable, but I still do it. I do it hoping that I won't find something that will shock me, yeah, and make me cry at night. Yeah. I've never cried. I've never found something that really hurt me. No. Well, there's a time in my life when I was the breadwinner in my family. And my husband, he was sacked from his job that used to pay him very well. He used to make good money from his job, but then he lost it. So I used to take care of the family. I pay rent, buy food, everything, pay school fees for our daughter. And so we used to be happy. And there's not even a single moment when I thought that I should walk out of this marriage, walk out of this man, turn my back on my family, because I love my family. I love my husband, and I love our daughter very much. So he was always there, always at home, helping me with cleaning, everything, helping me with our daughter. Not even at one point did he ever show me that he is not caring. As much as he didn't have money, he was always there for us. But then there's a day that I was doing general cleaning in the house, and then I found out that he's been like, he was, oh my God, I don't even know how to say this because I cried so much. But then I found out that he got a new job and he was making twice as much that he was making before he lost his job. And this caused so much trouble in our house because he was lying to me all this time. And not even one day did he come home and buy food for us all this time. Not even one day did he ever tell me, hey babe, I'll pay rent for this month. It was always me. And he lied to me. He was not honest with me, not even once. And he every day he left the house in the morning, and I knew that he was going just to look for a job, but he had a job. End of the month, I couldn't even see a cent that came from him. So this was very stressful. As a woman, I didn't know what to do. I called his mom, but his mom was... I think his mom knew, because from the way she talked to me, she knew all this time. Because I think the son was always sending her money back home. Of course, there's a time I realized that most of the time when his phone called, he could walk out of the house, go outside. And even the day he told me, there's a day we were seated, we were watching a movie, then his phone called. He walked out, and then he came after like 3 minutes and told me, I'm going to meet a friend. He never came back home that night. So basically what I want to say is that a woman, you'll get something from a woman. I mean, what you give to a woman as a man, you'll get it back. If you mistreat a woman, you'll get that back. But she will not mistreat you back, but then she will stop. Love fades. She will stop loving you. And then if you don't give her attention and somebody else gives her attention, she will run to that person. You know, such kind of things, cheating in marriage, that comes, especially in my experience, when my husband was cheating on me. You know, you can, such kind of things causes people to have emotional distress, and somebody can even end up killing the other. Like so many cases that have been happening. Commit suicide, kill yourself, kill your kids, you kill yourself, you know, because of stress.
Fulton Jason puts it well by saying, it takes 3 to make love, not 2. You, your spouse, and God. Without God, people will only succeed in bringing out the worst in one another. Lovers who have nothing else to do but love each other soon find there is nothing else.
You know, some people get into marriage thinking that it's always a bliss, it will always be happiness. Like you will always be happy every day, but then, or even like have intercourse every day. But then when you are in marriage, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. You know, at times society expects you, or people say, you'll be having intercourse like five times in a week. It doesn't happen that way. Maybe twice. It gets to a point where you just can't do it anymore.
With all this said and done, is there hope for the youth in Kenya? Is there hope for the marriages in Kenya? What is the role of the non-governmental organizations? What is the role of the spiritual leaders? What is the role of the government itself? For Every TV, I'm Beverly Vugutsa.
Thank you, Beverly, for that story. It's the curtain raiser for this discussion. I'll be joined in the next 30 minutes by Horace Ochieng, his consultant, the Golden Thoughts Consultancy on my far right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. We do appreciate your time. Asante sana.